to everybody or what?
Hi.
No, in Romanian. Do you remember? You don't remember how to say good evening?
Oh, see, I know how to say that.
Say that.
Bună seara.
Very good.
You're welcome. Cu plăcere. Right?
Well, usually. Depends on if you're actually saying you're welcome for something or if you're saying, oh, it's pleasure. Depends.
With pleasure, you're welcome, whatever. Hi, I'm America.
Yeah, I promised you guys that Alfred would be here, so Alfred's here. I'm sorry that it had to wait, until after Halloween, but it had to wait till after Halloween. Right, so your weekly or monthly or what do you call it if it's sporadic?
Sporadic.
Your sporadic Romanian for the episode. So I'm sort of cheating because I've already taught you guys how to say I love you in Romanian, but Jeff the Killer Girl wanted me to say I love you Alfred in Romanian. This is how the conversation usually goes. Do you remember how to say I love you too in Romanian?
Yes.
Awesome. Te iubesc, Alfred.
Și eu te iubesc, Vlad.
There you go. Let's pretend that just saying I love you too isn't enough and you want to say I love you very much. In that case, you could say te iubesc foarte mult, which is I love you very much, Alfred.
I love you very much too. I'm not even gonna try.
Okay, moving on then. I figured that the history and such that you guys get this episode is our history. So Alfred and I started to have diplomatic relations, which is not as dirty as it sounds. That just means that our leaders communicate and set up, treaties and trades and all of that bullshit. We started doing that in 1880. So yeah, we didn't officially meet each other face to face until a conference in the 90s. 1990s, that is, not the 1890s. But, obviously I didn't throw myself at you at that conference, even though I kind of wanted to. I didn't. Instead, I was a good boy and decided that we would be allies for a while instead. But we weren't allies during a couple years during World War II, but that was a whole other mess and everybody was fighting everybody just about in World War II, so I don't really count that. So, yes, after we were, met each other at the meeting and we were kind of, friends-ish, 9/11 happened and we won't talk a whole lot about that, but that was when you and I pretty much started getting closer because I sent you a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like money and soldiers and such. I finally convinced Alfred to not be afraid of me, and here we are. And now I let him test his missiles in my backyard.
Yeah.
So, now, there's that. On to your questions. I have 2 questions, since I heard Alfred would be there this time. Oh, she wants fan service. And secondly, which we'll get to that in a minute. Secondly, do you guys sleep around the same time due to the time change? I assume you mean because I sleep during the day and he sleeps at night. Which doesn't even really happen. He stays up half the night playing video games.
Yeah, I sleep whenever.
What is Vlad's zodiac sign? Well, I was born on December 1st, which makes me a Sagittarius.
There you go.
That's all the fan service you get for now. What are your thoughts and the rest of the family's thoughts on Tony? I really like Tony. I think he's cool. I have no idea what Koshmina and Raduin says. I think Cesar is annoyed with him.
Cesar is annoyed with a lot of things.
He's annoyed with a lot of things. And I don't know. Koshmina probably likes him. Okay, he sits around and plays video games with you guys sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So there you go. Radu probably likes him too. Did you ever see the Roman Empire and Holy Roman Empire? Ancient Rome was a little bit before my time, sort of. I mean, he was around when I was a kid, and I don't really know that much about him, to be honest. Holy Roman Empire, again, I was not part of the Holy Roman Empire, so I didn't really care at the time. I know that you are an old nation. Were you around when some of the empires were around, like ancient Rome, which I just discussed, Greece and Egypt? If so, what are your opinions on them? I don't know Egypt very well at all. I think I've only seen him like once or twice at meetings, because I don't go to meetings very often. Greece, I like Greece. Greece is cool. He likes cats and sleeps a lot. That makes him okay in my book. What are your opinions on, Romano, Spain, Italy, along with the Bad Touch Trio? That's a lot of people. Romano, I don't honestly know either Italy's very well, to be honest. I know them a little bit, and they're okay. Romano seems very grumpy.
I like their food.
You, of course you do.
I like their food.
Of course you do, darling. Spain's pretty cool. Again, I don't really hang out with him much, but
I like his food.
You like his food too. Bad Touch Trio, we've got Spain, Prussia, and France.
I hate Prussia, man. He's so annoying.
I like Prussia.
He's annoying, dude.
You have to know how to handle him is the thing. Prussia's cool.
You can't have two annoying people in the same room.
Then how did the Bad Touch Trio even exist?
Yeah.
France, I like France. You like France, you know you do.
He's alright.
Oh yeah, you like France, come on.
Frenchie's alright.
He's kind of like your dad, so...
He makes my dad happy, so...
Well, he's kind of like your second dad.
Right, I know. He's alright.
So, Alfred feels the same way about France that he does about England, which is, oh yeah, he's okay, but I don't really like him, but I really do.
Shut up, dude. They're alright.
Okay. Any obvious pairings between the nations you predict in the future? Are you asking me to do like a rune reading about couples?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
We don't play matchmaker.
Right. Are there any major and or minor drawbacks to being a vampire? Now don't get me wrong, there are a lot of really cool things about being a vampire, but you can't really go out in the sun. That's a drawback. I mean, you can, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. The whole having to rely on blood is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. Having a different appearance than normal humans is kind of a pain in the ass too, because there are spells you can use to make yourself look more normal, but it's a pain in the ass. I guess just relating to humans in general sometimes is the drawback, because, you know, there's a lot of physical and mental differences between vampires and humans, and it's sort of hard to relate sometimes. Or at least it used to be. When you're half vampire, it tends to get easier. Tiny bit. Oh, this is a question for you, Alfred. I'm going to let you answer this one.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the Silent Hill movies or played the games? And if so, what would you do if it was a real place and you were trapped there? What do you think would happen?
I have seen and played the games. If it were a real place and I were there, I'd kick some fucking ass.
You wouldn't get scared?
Oh yeah, I'd be fucking scary as shit, dude. But I gotta get the fuck out of there.
So you'd kick ass.
So I gotta kick ass.
What if Pyramid Head showed up?
Then I gotta fucking really kick ass.
Yeah, I've played a couple of the games, and I've seen the first movie.
Have you really?
I have. I like the scarier video games, because, you know, it's...
Must be like when I'm sleeping or something. Or
no, I played the first two Silent Hill games before I even met you.
Oh.
The
more you know.
Are you impressed?
I am.
But yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said about it. I think it'd be a fucked up situation. I don't think I'd be that scared, though. Until Pyramid Head showed up, then I'd be a little scared. Can you use magic in Silent Hill?
No.
Oh, then I'm fucked!
I gotta teach you how to shoot a gun.
You would.
But you're a vampire, though, so I mean, it'd probably be like different circumstances. You probably could use your own magic, I would think.
Then I'd see if I could use magic, I'd be okay. But if I couldn't use magic, I'd be screwed. Okay, I got a question, or rather a scenario. If Alfred was trapped in an alternate dimension, okay, and the only way to get him was through some form of help from Hungary. Why are you always at... Why? Why are you people always asking me about Hungary? Of all things. Okay, continuing. How far would you be willing to go to get Alfred back? Would you work with Hungary if that was the only way to get him back? Yes, I would work with Hungary if it was the only way to get him back. But I would hate every second of it. What was the other part of the question? How far would you be willing to go? As far as it takes. Out of all... Oh, this is a superhero question. You'll like this one. Out of all of the superheroes that Alfred has...
Oh, but it's directed for you.
I know. Which is your favorite? I don't know. I only really know the popular ones. I like Batman because he's a bat-ish. And he lives in like a... Does he ever actually turn into a bat or have a bat or anything like that?
No.
Oh.
I'm
disappointed.
He is Bat Cave. I mean, there's
like
bats in the cave. Yeah, it's like his theme.
You mentioned that you have seen Alfred's media. What do you like and dislike of America's media? The media, that's such a broad question. That could mean movies, that could mean music, that could mean... I like it all, really. There's certain things it'd be easier to list things I don't like. I don't like Twilight. I've never read it or seen it or anything, but from what I've heard about it, I don't care for it. I don't care for that Buffy the Vampire Slayer show. Did Alfred ever show you any superhero movie, and if he has, did you like it? Spider-Man, that was a good one. Didn't you say there's like 2 more of them?
Yeah.
We should watch those sometimes.
Alright.
I might like it.
Sometimes.
Sometime. Shut up!
It's okay.
Have you seen The Avengers? If you have, who is your favorite and least favorite characters? I haven't seen The Avengers yet, but I've heard a lot about it, and I think I'm going to like that Loki character. That's the only answer I can give you. He's like the evil one, right? He seems like
I
a
haven't
cool
even
guy.
seen it yet. I've been too busy.
You haven't seen your own damn movie?
I know.
Oh, Alfred.
I know.
That's terrible.
I know.
If America were to ask you this question, Alfred, the answer is no. I can tell you that already. If America were to ask you to dress up as Iron Man and he were to dress up as Captain America for a convention, would you do it?
Oh, I wouldn't ask you to do that.
Thank you for that, because...
That's something I drag Matthew along with. Like, I bring him with me.
What would you do if Hungary spiked one of Alfred's burgers, nation napped him, and he couldn't get free? Well, first of all, I don't
hang out with Hungary.
Yeah, I don't know how Hungary would get a hold of one of his burgers to spike it. But,
yeah.
You know, let's just pretend for a minute that somehow she figured that out. What would I do? I would go over to her house and kick the shit out of her, I guess. And then I would grab him and be like, okay, we're going back home now. Screw Hungary. The end. Do you like or dislike any of America's states? You realize that the states are part of his body, right?
I don't have kids, guys.
Like you realize that. So, do I dislike any of the... Like or dislike any of them? I like all of them. How about his brother Canada? I like Canada. He's alright. He's
too
alright.
quiet.
I know, he's very quiet, but he's a sweet little thing. He's very polite.
He loves moose and drags ass.
What? Did Alfred ever try to feed you his burgers? If so, did you like them or hate them? I have tried one of Alfred's burgers one time, and that's enough. That's too much, Alfred. It's too much. Do you think you'd ever teach Alfred magic in case of an emergency? Do you think he'd let you?
I'd let him. I wouldn't mind.
You already know a little bit of magic. Not thanks to me.
Right. I know.
Thanks to your father. And the damn ring. So obviously he would let me. So would I teach him? Yeah, you know what? I might teach you more magic. That might be kind of a neat activity for us. And I don't mean it in a dirty way.
It'll take a lot of effort on your part.
Why?
I am not a quick study.
we sort of just answered this question, but Alfred, has Vlad taught you magic yet, and did your dad ever teach you magic?
No and yes. Has America ever twerked for you? If so, have him twerk for you in a video. I triple dog dare him.
What does that even mean?
We'll get on YouTube later. I'm not twerking for you.
What is it though? Like, what is it?
It's a dance.
Oh, you're gonna hate this. You read it, because you're gonna hate it.
No, you read it, because I've already read it.
This is first of all, I just want to point out that this is an extremely inappropriate question to ask Alfred. In fact, I don't even want him to answer it, but when Vlad was drinking your blood to turn you to your human self, how did it feel?
I'm not answering.
I don't want you to answer that question. We don't discuss that. If you in America were to join the
Akatsuki.
What would you do? What is that?
Something from one of Kiku's shows. I've only seen like an episode or two of it. I'm not really into it.
Well, in that case, I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question. I'm sorry. Spazzy Misfit pretty much asked the same question that Jeff the Killer Girl just asked. That is kind of an off-limits and inappropriate question that Alfred will not be answering. And the second question she asked is a question that I am not comfortable answering, which is, how did it feel to drink Alfred's blood? Was it different from feeding off others since he is your lover? Yes, in response to the second question, but that's all I'm going to say about it. Relationships aren't easy to go through. How do you overcome your differences and issues to create a stronger relationship? She's asking us for relationship advice. That's fucked up. Do you use the mistakes France and England have made throughout the years so neither of you end up almost starting a war with the other? Okay, here's the difference between Alfred and myself and France and England, okay? France and England have been bickering and fighting with each other since the beginning of fucking time. Alfred and I have always been pretty cool. The worry of, oh, we might go to war with each other someday, it's not really there. So, how do you overcome differences and issues? You communicate.
You talk.
You talk, that's it. If I have a problem with something, then I talk to Alfred about it, and vice versa, and then we're like, oh, okay, well, how do we fix it? And then we fix it. That's it. It's easy. Granted, some issues are a little bit more difficult, like when Halloween rolls around and some bullshit happens every year, but we get over that eventually. Oh, you're gonna hate this question even more than the blood one. How damaging were the events of September 11th, 2001? Where were you where were you when it happened? Can I answer this question for you? How the hell damaging do you think it was? He had 2 goddamn planes crash into two of his major buildings. How the fuck do you think it was? I can't answer this question for you.
I wasn't good. I was right fucking there, okay? It hurt.
Stop talking about it.
We're done.
Stop talking about it.
Next question.
Vlad, do different blood types taste different? Alfred, what is your favorite part of Romanian culture? Yes, different blood types taste slightly different. That is why AB negative is kind of a delicacy amongst vampires.
I like Romanian music.
You do?
Except for like the folky stuff.
Yeah, he likes Vama.
Vama's cool. Some of the food's good. The chocolate.
You like my chocolate? I don't think my chocolate's that's great.
The chocolate's good. And
the booze is good though, yeah.
Awesome scenery.
I was wondering, what's the cheesiest pickup line you and Alfred have ever told each other?
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but you're a vampire, so bite me maybe.
Yeah,
that's it.
That is it. You have to finish it though.
And all the other countries try to chase me, but you're a vampire, so bite me maybe.
Also, I thought when Transylvania was taken, it was because you were with Hungary at some point. I'm so disturbed by this. And she gave birth to her And when you split up, you two fought over who she gets to live with. Everything about that sentence makes me want to vomit. No, that isn't at all what happened. I've never been with Hungary ever in my life. In fact, I would kill myself before I was ever touched her without, like, a glove on. Okay? Hungary thinks she has reign over Transylvania because she took her back in the day. We've been over this. Does America know you own a Twilight book in your closet? There's a Twilight book in my closet. Is it yours?
No. I mean, I read them, but I didn't bring them here.
Well, apparently, I need to have a little talk with Radu. Because I know it's his. If it's not yours, it must be Radu's, because I know it's not Cesar's, and I know it's not Coach Mina's, and it sure as hell isn't mine. Who's the man in your relationship with Alfred? Well, we're both men, darling. Or do they mean like who tops?
I do most of the time.
Let me finish the question.
Oh.
Is he because he's the hero, or are you because you're older and stronger? Well, first of all, I don't think I would necessarily claim to be stronger than Alfred, because I am a vampire and everything, but
I pick up cars.
you pick up cars. Have you told Alfred about your relationship with his dad? Well, if I hadn't, he'd know now, wouldn't he? But no, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I told him that ages ago. I think I told you that the first week or two you were here.
Yeah.
What would you do if something or someone was stopping you from seeing Alfred?
You take that bitch down.
I would take that bitch down. God, you people ask me the most. Some of you ask me the most depressing questions. Please stop asking me the depressing questions. What would be your immediate reaction if Alfred fell ill and was going to die?
Holy shit, I get the plague. What the
Your dad had the plague and didn't die?
Right?
Like I explained in the previous episode, it takes a fuckload to actually kill a nation. So we don't just fall ill and die, even if we get the plague.
We have pandemics.
Yeah, right.
We feel it.
Right. Do you and Alfred go on dates? If so, what do you do? I don't know.
We don't go out to eat.
We don't, yeah. We obviously don't go, to like a restaurant and have a nice dinner. Yeah, a date for us is like, we go to the beach at night. Or we go out into the gardens. Has America ever given you a present, and if so, what was it? The necklace I have on. Romania, what is the most romantic thing you have ever done for America? I don't know. Maybe you should answer that question. Because my answer is going to be kind of morbid and you won't like it.
You saved my life.
That was going to be my answer, but I figured I figured you thought, you'd think it was...
It is morbid, but it's the truth.
Have you ever thought about marriage and or having children with Alfred? Whoa!
It's a big word.
There's a lot of big words in that sentence. Thought about it, yes. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but it's mostly, Alfred being a smartass. So, I mean, let me put it this way. No for now. How about that? Have you ever pulled Alfred's ahoge when he was sleeping? If so, has he said anything in his sleep you thought was funny or cute? I don't pull on his ahoge when he's sleeping. That's very rude. I might poke at it a little, but I wouldn't pull it. And if he ever said anything in his sleep when that was happening, I certainly wouldn't share it with all of you. I'm sorry. Who's a better friend, Russia or England? Is that a serious question? I've been through a lot with England, and I still consider him my friend. I went through, some shit with Russia for like 40 years, and I don't consider him my friend anymore, so you do the math. So many of you want to see this ahoge war that I mentioned in an episode or two ago. When I mentioned that, I really...
You mentioned an ahoge war.
I did. But I didn't think they would ask to see it.
That's not happening, guys.
No, here's the thing. I'll talk about that sort of thing to an extent, not in detail, but I'll talk about it to an extent. I'll mention it, obviously. But that request is almost as if you would have asked, could you two fuck on camera for us? Okay, you know, it's kind of like that. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but we're not doing that. Yeah, and then you guys asked a bunch of details about what happens during Ahoge Wars. Use your imagination.
It's pretty dirty.
It's dirty, exactly. Just use your imagination. I'm not gonna answer any very personal Ahoge questions like that. And I know they really want me to take the damn hat off to see the Ahoge.
It's up to you.
Yeah, alright, you can take it off for a minute. And then I don't want to hear any more about it. Okay, now you see it. Now you understand why I wear the hat, right? So there you go. It's done. Over. Please stop asking me to show you the Ahoge. So yes, that is all the questions we're going to ask this episode. Answer. That is all the questions we're going to... I can't speak the English today. It's because I got my hat off now. It's a bad plan because I've lost my hat. That's better.
There you go. The plan is saved.
The plan is saved because
Crisis averted.
Alfred's holding the hat on. That is all the questions we're going to answer this episode. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the next episode, but I've already decided that I'm going to make Arthur do one of these for me, like on a month I don't feel like doing it. So if you have questions that you want to ask Arthur, ask him lots of really annoying questions for me, okay? And then he'll answer those. He'll answer those when I make him do it. He's gonna hate it. He's gonna hate every moment of it. But I will laugh and enjoy it, and so will you. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna have him do that, but eventually. So if you have questions for Arthur, ask away. Other than that, I guess, you know, keep asking me questions. Alfred won't be here next time, because he has to go home for a little while, deal with some shit. So, are you getting sick of holding the hat? Yeah, a little bit. Say goodbye to everybody. Tell them you love them.
Bye, I love you.
Say it in Romanian.
Say your best not to move.
Very good.
Sexy and I know it.